While we remain mired in a shutdown and with healthcare costs skyrocketing, this is what Donald Trump just posted onto Truth Social. I renovated the Lincoln bathroom in the White House. I did it in black and white polished statuary marble. This was very appropriate for the time Abraham Lincoln, and in fact, could be the marble that was originally there. Now, I'm going to respond to that in just a moment, but I also want to show you the entirety of Donald Trump's feed, because it's not just that one post. Nope. Because 24 hours out from 42 million people losing their food assistance, Donald Trump has posted not once, not twice, not 3 or 4 or 5 or 6, but 7 times about his new marble bathroom. There are a total of 25 pictures of his golden marble shitter that this wannabe autocrat needs us to see, as a fifth of the country has to figure out how to eat tomorrow. And remember, this guy ran as a populist. Now look, if you're on the left, like me, it's difficult to look at this more broadly and not immediately feel angry that this guy is constantly demolishing these long-standing symbols of our history, but I also initially doubted the effectiveness of that message. But the reality is that Donald Trump's demolition of the White House really does poll terribly. According to polling from both YouGov and Washington Post ABC News, Americans disapproved of Trump's demolition of the East Wing 57-26, his plans for replacing it with a 90,000 square foot ballroom 61-25, and his broader handling of the situation 55-28, all by around a 2-to-1 margin. The latter shows Americans also opposed the broader project by a 2-to-1 margin 56-28. Even Trump's supporters aren't defending him too hard. For instance, just 55% of Republicans in the Yahoo poll approved of both demolishing the East Wing and building a ballroom. That's compared to 94% of Democrats who disapproved of both. Around 1/4 of Republicans disapproved on both counts. In both polls, the percentage strongly opposed to the project far outpaced the percentage strongly in favor, 46% to 18% in the Yahoo poll and 45 to 15 in the Post ABC poll. In both surveys, about half of independents strongly opposed it. But notwithstanding the egregious unpopularity of demolishing different parts of the White House every week, the more important point is that while 24 million Americans don't know whether their healthcare costs will be 2, 3, 4, 5 times more expensive in just a few weeks, Trump's focus is now on surrounding himself with more gold, more marble, more opulence. In just the last few weeks, he's put all of his energy into building himself a $350 million ballroom, retrofitting a $400 million jet, covering his Oval Office with gold leafing. All the while, Republicans have cut Medicaid from 17 million Americans, have cut $350 billion from food assistance, and are right now refusing to reopen the government because they are hell-bent on ensuring that ACA premiums skyrocket. And that was only after using other food stamps as a bargaining chip to keep the government closed. I don't know that you could have a leader less attuned to the pain that the people in this country are contending with right now than Donald Trump. And by the way, his staff isn't doing him any favors either. Caroline Leavitt, his press secretary, tweeted, "When I first learned a toilet like that existed in the White House, I was horrified. President Trump is making the People's House more elegant and beautiful for generations of Americans to come." She was horrified at the mere thought of Donald Trump not being surrounded by pure gold or marble. Could you imagine? And look, I know that you're thinking, oh, it's more horrifying to see 24 million Americans watch their healthcare costs go up, or 17 million Americans lose their access to Medicaid, or 42 million Americans lose food assistance, but don't be ridiculous. These things are but mere inconveniences. The real horror here is that Donald J. Trump may pass by a toilet that isn't up to his very high standards. And frankly, that should be our nation's top priority. And the fact that Trump is solely focused on himself is a point that I brought up with Jessica Tarlov. I think that Donald Trump, whatever he wants to get done, he gets done, right? He doesn't view anything as an obstacle to barreling ahead and accomplishing whatever his goals are, be it the courts, be it prosecutors, be it judges, be it attorneys, be it the Democrats, be it the law, be it the Constitution. He doesn't care about any of those things. When he wants to do something, he does it. And the fact is that we're seeing where his priorities lie when he builds himself a $200 million ballroom, when he buys, uses taxpayer funds to retrofit a $400 million jet from Qatar, when he buys Kristi Noem $170 million worth of Gulf streams, when he decks out the Oval Office in gold leafing. Like that, those things get done because those are his priorities, which underscore the fact that what is not getting done is because he just doesn't care. The fact that farmers are getting screwed right now is because he doesn't care about those farmers. The fact that Americans are going to see healthcare get gutted, whether it's the 17 million Americans who aren't going to get Medicaid, whether it's the 24 million Americans who are going to see their ACA premiums double or triple or quadruple, that's happening because he doesn't care. Again, when he wants to do something, like he's doing with this ballroom, he finds a way to get it done. So everybody that's getting screwed is getting screwed as the direct result of the fact that he does not care about these people. Like, when he offered up these populist shticks when he was on the campaign trail, it's because he knew what to say. But he's always been a fake populist. He's always been out for himself. And the fact that he is just adorning his office with gold and surrounding himself with opulence and doubling his net worth is all the proof you need that he was perfectly content to screw over these people, to say whatever he needed to say, to sell them a bill of goods. But now that he's got what he needs from them, he's done helping them. He spent the entire campaign swearing up and down that he was focused on regular people, on the price of housing and rent and groceries and eggs, but it was complete bullshit. This is what he's focused on. A ballroom that none of us will ever use. A $400 million Qatari jet retrofitted to the tune of $1 billion paid for by taxpayers that none of us will ever use. 2 Gulfstream jets for Kristi Noem that'll cost $172 million that none of us will ever use. Crypto dinners that have led to him doubling his net worth that none of us will ever derive an ounce of benefit from. Don't you all see that he's helping himself here? He is heaping more gold, more wealth, more opulence onto himself by the day, and we all are paying for it. Meanwhile, what have Americans gotten these last few months? They've gotten their Medicaid gutted, they've gotten their ACA premiums skyrocketing, farmers are watching their supply chains completely vanish, everyone is watching costs go up every day, inflation's rising, wages are flat, the manufacturing renaissance that Trump promised is non-existent, jobs are disappearing, and all this time, Trump is immersing himself in gold. Don't take it from me, just use your own eyes. I'm not the one here spending all day bragging about how my gold-encrusted surroundings are just too good. He is.
It'll be great. It'll be fantastic. You see the way this is looking? Look, nice. I can't tell you how much that gold costs. A lot of money. There's nothing like gold, and there's nothing like solid gold. But this beautiful office needed it. It had to be representative. When we took it over, it was dirty, not clean. I immediately changed the chair and had this beautiful desk renovated, brought out by the White House. People that do this, they did a great job. We send it out. We have a craftsman who's great. But this was not appropriate for the Oval Office, what I took over. And now you look at all those paintings you're allowed to turn back. All of these are great presidents, and they were all in the vaults. They were in vaults for some cases much more than 100 years. And now they're proudly hanging on the Oval Office walls, and I can't imagine anybody changing it. But they were buried in vaults for over 100 years, many of them. So it's very exciting. People come in, they really love it. They love what we're doing here. They love what we're doing in D.C., and they love what we're doing, most importantly, in the country and the world.
So this is one of those rare instances where Trump and his team are actually doing a perfectly fine job unto themselves broadcasting where their priorities lie. They have so much oozing contempt for their own voters that even while they're screwing them over, which would be bad enough unto itself, disqualifying enough unto itself, they're actually bragging about the fact that they just don't care. They are bragging that Trump gets his precious ballroom, that Trump gets his planes, that Trump gets his new bathroom, while he fucks over everybody who was foolish enough to believe him as he pretended to be a populist. So the next time you think for even a second that Trump cares about anyone but himself, just remember.
At this moment in time, of course, the ballroom is really the president's main priority.
Before you go, if you enjoyed this content and you want to see more and support independent media, please subscribe to this channel. The subscribe button will be right here on the screen. But second, the reality is that we are now in a political environment where this administration can lean on any of the social media platforms to suppress certain voices if they don't like critical coverage. That means my longevity here is in the hands of a few tech billionaires who are already making it clear that they are willing to cater to this administration. To that end, signing up for my newsletter is a way for me to reach you directly if that ever becomes necessary. I'll put the link right here on the screen as well, so please sign up. It's free, but there's also an option to do a paid subscription if you'd like to support me and my team. I really appreciate it. Thanks so much for watching.